enormous things for Pakistan: disaster relief, earthquakes, floods, all kind of things with your disaster relief organization. A place where you take care of orphans and widows. What is that called?
House of Blessings
House
for
of
Widows and
Blessings.
Orphans.
And now the latest, this is a new thing with the animal shelter and rescue. Can you talk a little bit about how you got into that, and how does the ambulance service work? Where all is this, and when do you guys start in Lahore?
So, from that very beginning of the earthquake, we tried to help animals too. And I remember once it was in that village that we first arrived in, and we were living there in tents. We had our hospital. And one day I was walking to a place where we had our washroom set up a little bit away from the camp. And I saw this little puppy alone by itself. And then I saw its mother with a couple other puppies way on the other side of the field. And he was kind of whimpering, sitting there in the mud. And I went over to him and I picked him up and I held him up. Oh, you're such a cute little
dog.
thing. Oh, you little puppy. And then I looked over and there was 6 guys sitting there drinking tea, sitting along the wall, looking at me like I was kissing a rat or something, right? They're like, oh my God, what is this guy, right? So we've always tried to help animals. And so, fell in love with Pakistan, but I saw animals suffering. So we always tried to do something for the animals. We would always pick them up on the side of the road and stuff. And we put some cages. When we find an injured animal, we would take care of it. But it was always on an informal basis. Mm-hmm. So about 5 years ago, I thought, let's start a program for animal welfare and let's try to make it a little bit more. And so whatever funds we could get together extra from animal lovers, because whenever we got funds from people, it was for our human projects. So I wasn't using those funds for animals. I would talk to people and tell them that, hey, could you send a little bit of money just for the animal project? And those that loved animals and those who wanted to do, they could send. So what we did was we would use that to help animals. And we started helping some rescuers that we saw doing great work who were struggling. Like there's a young lady here named Aniza Khan with Give Us Life Animal Welfare in Lahore. So we were helping her out and trying to, help her defray her costs of food and medicines, because it gets very expensive. Pick up a dog that's injured and it's not just your fuel, but it's the vet bills and it's the food and it's the time.
The medicines, the surgery, the bandages,
everything.
The recovery, everything.
And then they always have fleas and parasites and other problems. So it's not, people don't realize, I think, how expensive it is just to eat even one animal. But we started doing that. So in the beginning of 2021, we started getting attention for our animal welfare work, which led to a partnership with a young lady, Sarah J.K., who is a great animal welfare activist and rescuer down in Karachi. So she introduced us to a donor, a Pakistani American who really loves animals, named Murtaza Hussain. And so he gave us a big grant. And with that big grant, we were able to really start some historic things in Pakistan, which is the very first national animal rescue service with ambulances for animals. And
where is this?
So we have 2 in Lahore, we have 1 in Faisalabad, we have 1 in Peshawar, Charsada, we have 2 in Pindi, and we have 2 in Karachi.
And these are all operational?
Yes.
And the ambulance service is in all of these cities?
Yes. It's attached, like the one in Charsada, Peshawar area is attached with Lucky Animal Protection Shelter. That's a shelter we help them build. They have their own shelter.
So they are collaborated.
Yeah, we donated a lot of money to them to help them build their shelter, but they do their own thing, and they have we gave them the vehicle as to help them. So there's that kind of thing. In Faisalabad, there's Tyra Animal Welfare Foundation, and they do a great job. And they just actually bought a new vehicle, so they gave us back the other vehicle to send to Lahore. So we've collaborated with them.
These are just dogs and cats?
Dogs, cats, horses and donkeys. And then a few eagles, kites, and a few monkeys here and there. A couple crows we've saved. But mostly it's about dogs, and then cats, and then donkeys. And a few horses.
So when somebody calls you and that they have an animal outside, he's rabid or he's injured or whatnot, you send an ambulance, you send someone to take the dog away. You take care of the dog, then you neuter it, and then you tag it, and then you put it back out.
Yeah, we crop their ears. There's an
Crop
ear
their
cropping
ears, okay.
procedure.
Do you tag
But we
them
are
as well,
gonna,
or no?
We're going to start tagging. We are going to start doing that. So yes, this is what we do, and we established the very first in Pakistan's history Center for Trap, Neuter, Vaccinate, Release of stray animals, and to educate the public with public awareness campaigns as to why this is not just for animal lovers, why this is a public health initiative for Pakistan, why it will bring blessings to us from Allah, because we'll be doing it the right way. We'll be compassionate towards these animals that we're responsible for. You know, we're responsible for them because they were wolves, and we brought them in and made them dogs.
Absolutely.
So then if we domesticate them and their DNA is attached with us, but then we abandon them, well,
That's on us.
that's on us.
Yeah.
So as a society, whether you like dogs or not, if we're following Islam, then
Even if we're as human beings.
and human beings.
As human
But in
beings.
Islam, it specifically says these things. And of course, in other religions, the same
Yeah.
kind of thing is there.
But
So
it's
there's some
basic compassion.
yeah, and there's some misconceptions in Islam that are not in Islam, but in people's interpretation. You know, they say dogs are dirty. But if dogs are dirty, then why in the Quran does it say that
And why
dogs
do-
can fetch prey
Yeah.
when you're hunting? If they're that dirty, then, you know, yes, you don't want a dog in the masjid drooling all over the place. But that's a whole different, you know, if you keep a dog and you keep it clean and you're looking after it and it's not out on the street,
It's your best friend.
then not only is it your best friend, but it's very clean.
Yeah.
They're only dirty and disgusting and mean
When
you
they're
keep them
dirty.
every day
Yeah.
and you abandon them.
And you let them live in dirt
Yes.
and eat dirt.
So part of this, we're never going to be able. We have that center since in Islamabad, Goldberg Greens. We started another one in Karachi. Have another one in Skurdu. Which Skurdu one is the very first MOU between a government district of Pakistan and an animal welfare NGO in Pakistan's history. So we're making a lot of history. We're the first animal welfare organization that has multiple facilities in multiple places. We are opening up one in Lahore early next month, just a couple weeks.
What does these centers do? I mean, what do they offer?
So we do.
Other than the ambulance service, what's the service?
Sure. So the animal service is not for pets. It's for strays and mostly injured animals. Because there's so many animals, we can't get them all. In fact, people are angry with us because you can only handle so much, right? We're here to set an example to the society, but our little program cannot help
Cater to
millions
every
of them.
dog out
Yeah, so
there,
people
yeah.
call us and our team is already out rescuing another animal, then they get mad at us because
you didn't come
they're
or-
selfish thinking and they're only thinking about themselves. They're not thinking, well, this team is working hard and they're on another case, so they can't get to me right away. And then they start abusing you online that you're not doing anything. You're eating money. This is one of the things that they
There's
love
only
to.
so much you can do.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about some of the animal lovers here, but they hate human beings so much. And that's why they love animals so much, because they love them unconditionally, but they hate human beings. So we get a lot of abuse from people who need us. And when we can help them, we're the best thing since chicken biryani. But if we can't help them, then we are trashed online. So that's an unfortunate thing that happens. But as we grow, hopefully we'll be able to help more and more animals and do more. We've done a lot. We've helped over 20,000 domesticated animals, and over 20,000 during the floods. We fed 20,000 and gave veterinary services to another 20,000 animals. So 40,000 animals helped in the last 2.5 years, 4 shelters, an ambulance service. And so we're doing some really good work. And we have a network of other rescuers and shelters that we've supported. And we want to keep this going. So anybody out there that hears this, we definitely need donations so that we can, every time somebody donates, then that's another extra animal we can help. Because we're at max with what we've got with our budget. And if they want us to save more, then we need them to help us. Do some campaigns, do an event for us. Call if they have a rich uncle or something, or if they know some businessmen. Not only animal lovers, but people who don't like animals really should support us, because they will be very happy when they see less animals on the street bothering them and barking all night long and menacing them when they go to Fajr prayer. Because dogs start acting like their ancestors of wolves when they're back out on the street, left to their own devices. They start packing up.
Yep.
There's a couple alpha males and whole hierarchy goes on. And they can be quite frightening. And they can be dangerous.
Instinct takes over, yeah.
Yeah, so this is what we're trying to do. And we want to set an example for others, because we have these 4 facilities now, which is a lot for Pakistan in terms of any other organization. And we also work with, like in Lahore, Todd's Welfare Society, which is not related to me. It's a different Todd, but we work with them and we collaborate with them, and we're trying to work with the government and trying to show them what we're doing. So we're trying to set an example so that we would have at least one. It's called the Benji Project. So we would like a Benji Project for animal welfare and rescue in every district of Pakistan. So our goal is, very far-reaching. In order to do that, we're going to need, the government. We're going to need Malik Riaz, or somebody like that to come and help us do this thing
Malik
big.
Riaz,
Scale
if
it up.
you're listening, please help.
Yes, yeah, Malik Saab or anybody.
Generally, it's